So I have Mr. Ismael Gonzalez with me today. So thank you
Hello.
for your generous time sharing with us. I have different groups with EXP, with entrepreneurs around the world. I have an international mastermind called Worldwide Elite International Mastermind, where we debate, we discuss different ideas, what are the trends, and the different ways to invest their money for all the community. Okay, so that's why I started interviewing a couple of celebrities, elite people in our societies, and I love Mexico since 2020. I started visiting and investing. Doing live, I lived for a year in Mexico. Okay, between
Oh,
Tulum,
wow.
Playa del Carmen during COVID
Amazing.
because
Great.
every place was
Great,
closed, and I
great place to
always
be.
had, yeah, it's a great place to be. I always had that idea because I was like you, and we're gonna go to that with Keller Williams.
Oh,
And I
interesting.
wanted to open a franchise in France, but it was too complicated. And you were a team leader, I guess, and you know what I'm talking about. Franchise,
Absolutely.
global responsibility, accountability,
Yes.
accounting, everything. Anyway, so I during COVID, I decided I have to go to Mexico and introduce myself to builders and brokers and everything. And now I have a list of people I deal with, and I refer to Tulum and Playa de Carmen, Cancun. I love it, and I want to do more business in Mexico, and that's why I wanted to meet you and see how maybe precise the idea about Mexico more.
Well,
Okay,
thank you very much, Adam, for inviting me. It's my pleasure to be here. And Tulum is one of the hottest markets right now in Mexico, if not the hottest. So, great place to be focusing in on as well.
absolutely. So, what I know from you, from what I found about you, Ismail, is that you started, I guess, your career in human resource, and then you went to real estate, Remax, KW, team leader, and then EXP.
Correct.
So, tell me
Yes,
about.
correct. Well, I started my real estate career about 15 years ago. As you said, in Remax franchise as an agent.
Okay.
And a couple of years after that, I actually switched industries to be in charge of a car dealership here in Mexico, which helped me a lot in terms of processes because it was a Japanese brand and learned a lot of processes and procedure systems and this type of market as well has various indicators on other industries as well. But I then found out that my heart was in real estate, so I came back to open up a KW franchise in Mazatlan, which is my hometown, Mazatlan, Sinaloa. It's on the Pacific side of Mexico, right on the middle. Great place as well, growing a lot at the moment. And I opened up
Most of
the
people they
franchise.
know Cabo, they know Cabo, so it's
Yes,
just below Cabo.
it's actually across like little sea that it is. Mexico has like this little arm on the left side. So Cabo is on the tip of the arm, and we are like on to the mainland over there.
Okay.
Yes. So I opened the Keller Williams franchise in Mazatlan as a team leader, as you said, and we opened it up to become the second most productive office in Mexico in the first year, first place in second year, and right now that office is actually the most productive one in the country. I left the team leader position because I started my own real estate team within the office, so I could focus 100% on growing my team. We found it, and first year was the most productive in terms of units closed. Team within Keller Williams in Mexico. We closed around 260 transactions on our first year. Very specialized on development, so we had a lot of success over there. The team is still growing and producing. I'm not in it anymore. I'm not in production anymore. Of course, we do have a structure that takes care of all the business, and it's currently being one of the top teams in Mexico as well, specialized on new developments, which is how we started the team. And I was invited to come back to EXP, but now as a regional manager, regional director, I'm sorry. So I led the KW in Mexico for about 7 or 9 months, I believe. This was right in during COVID, so it was a pretty timely thing to do. And the interesting part about this, Adam, is that I was invited by the regional owner, of course, to create or develop the teams model that we were going to implement in Mexico for real estate. In Mexico, the teams is not very well documented or standardized as in States or Canada. So it's a very new concept, to how to build a team within real estate. So I was focusing on teams and expansion. And by the 7-month mark that I'm sharing, I was invited to a meeting with Michael Valdez, who at the time was the president of EXP Global. And he discussed, the model of EXP with me, and it immediately clicked because I was working on, teams, leverage, and expansion. So he presented the model, and something clicked and said, "Wow, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do."
On what model you were building the teams and group and stuff? On what model were you structuring that? On the MREA or?
Yes, on the MREA, but at the time it was the MREA 2 has not been published yet that I know, but at the time we had some internal insight on the new teams model. I'm sorry, 7 levels, and on the new teams, the MREA 2 included the expansion part of it. Having expansion director and open up business in other areas, which is not part of the MREA 1. So I was building it with that in mind. So, but when I heard about what EXP was doing and it was coming to Mexico, I said, "There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to compete with this," and it's already done. EXP, it's a team. It has a very strong team model, and it's focused on expansion as well. So I said I have to be there. So I received the invitation from Michael to be part of the company and lead EXP in Mexico, and here I am. It took me a week to make a life-changing decision, because it was from the beginning. It was all set.
What year?
This was 2020.
2020.
Yes, I started on October.
Okay.
So this is the funny part. It was like the 28th of October. So when I got hired, Michael told me, "Okay, but I have one condition." I'm like, "Yes, tell me." And he said, "You have to open the country in November." So he gave me 1 month to launch the country, and we launched exactly the 30th of November of 2020. So yeah, that was fun.
Michael is a mysterious guy. I met him in Montreal, and he's a very mysterious guy. He just gives you the gift of here's a surprise, you have to open the country.
Yes, he's a great leader. He's a visionary. He knows what he's doing. Has a lot of expertise on global markets. He knows Mexico very well as well. So we were lucky to be able to launch with his leadership, and of course Megan Kelly, which is now the VP for operations of global operations. It was a great time. Mexico was the 5th country that was launched with this new EXP global branch. And now we're 24 countries. So Mexico was the 5th, and it was a very small team. It was very manual at the time, but it gave us the opportunity to really mold, our models to the needs of the country, which is the point of EXP. We're a global brand, but we're highly hyper focused and localized. Each country has its own model. Each country has so yes.
their
Yes.
administration to manage the agents and everything. So at that point, you started with how many agents in Mexico?
Well, day one, we achieved 100 agents, which until now, yeah, until today, it is a record-breaking opening. Day one, we had 30 agents. So we started December 1st, 2020, with 150 agents or so, and we had a huge incremental, growth in the next couple of months. We achieved 500 agents in maybe 6 months or something like that, um, which was a very good learning experience, because we realized that at the beginning, a lot of we were doing a lot of traction. We were having a lot of traction, and a lot of agents from the U.S. and Canada were helping us, recruit, because they were partnering up with the relationships I already have here in the country, Mexico and the US and Canada. It's, we do a lot of business, and real estate has been, growing a lot. It has been booming between the three countries in the last couple of years. But as I'm saying, it was a very good learning experience, because we realized that a lot of agents that were joining the company were not 100% aware or fully understood, what they were getting into, because EXP being so new, EXP being so disruptive, we had some adoption issues at the beginning, for agents to be able to fully,
And the model,
yes,
and
and explode it, right.
resources they get with the XP
Yes.
and the model. Yeah, of
Right.
course. So I guess that was a big learning curve for you.
It
And you
was.
said how to adapt with the market, being just a team leader, then managing the whole country.
It was, and it was a challenge, because one of the differences between, a model like a franchise, for example, and us, EXP, is that a franchise has the ability to do a different model in each city, or not, which could be advantageous, but at the same time, it's a huge challenge. So one of our value propositions is that we're one company in the entire world, or one company in Mexico, or one model in Mexico, and this is amazing. But at the same time, at the moment, it was like, oh my God, we have to create something that aligns with Cancun, Tijuana, and also Tulum, which is on the other end. So Mexico is a big market. It has very different markets within the country. So we really do a great analysis to make sure we're bringing value to all the agents in Mexico, and it turned out really good. Yes.
So you're seeing a lot of success with that. And what
Correct.
do you think is your biggest success or realization since the beginning now?
It was a couple of things, and I know we've talked about this before. Everybody talked about this. The timing when EXP arrived in Mexico, which we were recovering from the pandemic, from COVID. And at that time, it came as a how you call it, like a lifeboat for a lot of agents that were struggling in their day-to-day business, because their office was closed. They were not receiving the support from their broker. They didn't have the resources that EXP had. So when we came, it was a huge help, and it was a great opportunity for a lot of agents that were struggling, to be able to conduct their business and thrive on a cloud-based brokerage that was ready for them in a moment of challenge. One of the good things is that now an agent in Mexico, all across Mexico, not only the big cities, have the opportunity to receive all of the support, at the tip of their fingers, on their cell phone, computer, tablet, because we're 100% cloud-based. So we had various different, success stories with agents, and we're really proud about that. Being able to help our communities and to help our agents. That's the focus, 100%. We're an agent focused company, so yeah, we feel pretty proud about that.
Well, from my understanding, the solution was already there. Jan Sanford, when he created EXP back in 2009 and stuff, he was thinking, we need a model which is crisis or a recession proof. Okay, and that's why he created that model, and it was already there. It's just nobody or not everybody was looking at it.
Exactly.
Having COVID, that's when the light went on, and they said, "Oh, wow, that's a big solution for us," and that's why it's the future for real estate as well. Okay, so I love, I as I said, I spent almost a year in Mexico, and I've seen all the beautiful projects and how even the projects in Mexico are like futuristic. Futuristic is not like with technology or anything, but it's the way it embracing nature and the sustainability with humans, and I love that. And I think the worldwide, it's gonna get very trendy, and that's how people will start living. So what do you think? I know that there are a lot of projects right now, especially in Tulum and Playa. What do you think after all this wave of construction? What will happen to that? What will be the
Mexico? It's a developing country right now, Adam. So I'm pretty sure we're going to keep seeing a lot of growth in the next couple of years. For sure. And real estate agents are going to hate me for this, or developers. But for sure, there's going to come a time that where the growth has to balance a little bit, because right now, especially in Tulum and Playa del Carmen, as you're referring, some areas like Mazatlan as well. But some other markets are a lot more mature. That this happened. This has happened already in other markets like Querétaro, Mexico City, Guadalajara, Monterrey. This has happened before. So right now, there's newly discovered areas like Tulum. I'm saying newly discovered by international buyers. Which has make it very profitable as well. Are growing like super fast, and it's gonna reach a couple of years, or maybe 5 years. Where the market has to balance a little bit, and maybe it's not going to be growing at the same rate, but we're still going to see growth. As Tulum has been receiving a lot of it. Well, the area has been receiving a lot of attention from the government lately. They're building a new airport just 15 minutes from Tulum. The Mayan train, the whole system, and this is going to bring a lot of infrastructure and investment as well to the area. So maybe 5 or 10 years, we're not going to have any slowdown.
Yeah, for 5-10 years. Well, they are saying the airport of Tulum is going to be finalized by 2024.
Next year.
I'm guessing the value that people can get, it's right now that they have to invest right now if they want to get those big margins. And the great value.
Right. And the area is gorgeous. So gorgeous. Yeah. You have hundreds and hundreds of miles and kilometers of gorgeous beach and gorgeous Mayan selva. Not woods, but forests and all of that. So we're still gonna have a lot of room to grow.
How many agents do we have now in Mexico?
So at this moment, we're actually doing a process where we're making sure that our active agents are, actually active agents. So we downsized a little bit. We're close to 900. I believe we passed 900 this month, but we're talking about now 900 active and fully engaged agents.
And that's, I want to put together the two questions I had, because we are seeing big growth, a lot of new build. So a lot of agents, they don't have that expertise of selling, doing the open house, doing the marketing, they just resell the new build, and it's very easy process. The builder does the half of the process and stuff like
Yes.
that. So we need experts in the market soon.
Absolutely, Adam. There's a fundamental difference between Mexico and U.S. and Canada, for example, and in terms of real estate agents. And that is that, fortunately and unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we don't have a nationwide real estate license in the country. So no license means no schools, right? So we don't have real estate schools in Mexico. There's not like this minimum standardized education. So it really depends on the brokers to do the job, to train their agents, train and to, develop them. So it hasn't been in the past the culture of actually implementing this process and standards and systems and models that we're pushing for a Mexican agent. We're talking about open houses are totally different in Mexico than in the US. Mexican agents in some areas do open houses to other real estate agents, and they, it's like a party. So we're pushing in order to direct our agents to the best practices that we've seen, that have shown this in other countries, in other markets, that we can apply here and see immediate results. So when that's the focus. Actually, we're about to launch a new agent development program that it's really focused on this good practices.
Nice. That's great to hear. What do you think is the great value, the value proposition we are giving different from other brokerages or other models in Mexico, like EXP compared? Because I know, for example, Dubai, I met with a broker of record of Dubai, Dunia, yeah, and a very great lady. And for example, there they offer residency for new agents who wants to practice in Dubai. So are we seeing this kind of offers to international people who want to settle in Mexico?
Well, yes, it's something that we've been doing. There's a lot of international agents that are starting the real estate business in Mexico. It was actually launched a couple of weeks ago, a global multi-country licensed agent. Although in Mexico we don't have a license, we're preparing to help this international agents that want to expand their business into Mexico. It's a little, I don't know how it is in Dubai. In Mexico, it's a little tricky because by a law, in order to be able to receive payment, the agent needs to have an address, a bank account, and a tax ID. So we help agents going through this process. Of course, with every agent, we signed an ICA, independent contractor agreement, but we can help with the migration institutions to make sure they do everything in order to comply and be able to close business in here. However, we have we have dozens of agents in this process, but in the meantime, they're building great referral business and opportunities with Mexican agents, and that's really easy. And we've seen the incredible growth in terms of the transactions that we're doing from buyers that come referred by agents in Canada and the US. So it's a great opportunity right now.
Exactly, that's what I've been doing, and that's why I love Mexico. The people are very nice. The culture, I love the culture. People are happy and more than happy to collaborate with me. So,
and the food is amazing.
Don't start. I'm stuck in the middle of ice. I need to travel right now. I want to come as soon as possible. So,
yes.
Maybe we can get to that later. And you referred me to the person because I want to start practicing really and give all my coaching, give my mentorship to agents, create a real team in Mexico, because I want them to be 100% with the international norms. And my idea of real estate and everything is in the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to see a lot of worldwide work. Like the engineer in Japan will compete with the Mexican, with the Canadian to work in Canada for the same salary without traveling. So that's how it's going to be for in my point of view. So that's why I'm getting ready and trying to get into different areas where I can practice real estate and give back, share my knowledge maybe with the different teams. And I would love to do that.
Right. Well, that's why we're calling EXP a truly brokered,
borderless.
Borderless. I'm sorry, English. Yeah, borderless brokerage. So yeah, we're preparing for that as well. We do know that real estate is particular, because it's you're selling a house, a physical house, and it's always good to have partnerships with somebody in the area, being hyper local. But you're correct. Our ability to conduct business and to serve all of these people that are moving or that want to invest in other countries and in other areas right now is unlimited. So yeah, we need to prepare for this.
Amazing. Okay, so what's your success formula? What's your formula for success for an agent to be successful? What's the right formula for them? I know you were top team, top agent in Mazatlan. So what do you think?
It's super simple, and we've seen, a lot of studies and a lot of evidence about this, but lead generation is the focus, and it has to be the focus for an agent. Always be lead generating. However, it doesn't stop over there. So for me, the success is the following. We need to focus on, selecting 3 to 5 source of leads. Become an expert on those 3 to 5. I suggest one of those sources. It's your sphere of influence, of course. Social media. It's right now it's a great place to produce leads. However, we need to also focus on building and hopefully automatized inbound lead process that can help us, serve all of these leads correctly. Because I'm gonna speak in how it is in Mexico. Taking the example of social media. So this is actually pretty new for Mexican agents. We started doing social media for leads for real estate a couple of years ago, five years ago. So we discovered this new great source and started to invest a lot. In Mexico, we don't have Zillow, we don't have all of these engines that do a lot more than just advertising. So a lot of agents started advertising a lot of money and receiving hundreds of leads a month, hundreds of leads. But there were more leads that they can handle. There's more leads that you can handle. And when you reach this point, especially if those leads are not qualified, are not sourced, are not filtered down, it can become a huge challenge to be able to serve them and to nurture the relationship with these leads in order to be able to cultivate the relation and to be able to actually produce sales with them. Because we've seen it. We need to be in touch with this leads for at least a year until we start to get building a relationship. So the first teams or agents in Mexico that are having huge success are the ones who have been successful in implementing technology, of course, or tools that help agents do this process automatically. Implement a system, software that can help you route your leads, source your leads, build the cultivate the leads. Be able to stay in touch with them with you actually having to make a phone call yourself at some point. So
create smart plans.
Exactly. Great.
You and
Smart
me, we
plans.
know what the smart plan.
I do. I do know what a smart plan is. Yeah. I call them workflows,
Yeah,
which is the same.
workflows,
You know,
drip, drip
drip
com-
campaigns.
yeah,
Well, a drip campaign, it's a part of the smart plan of the workflow. It's a small part.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. What do you think? Like real estate will. What's your vision? Your ultimate purpose for Mexico? What do you want to drive EXP in the next period of time? I don't know.
Well, we really want EXP to become to make a difference in our market. You know, it's very hard to predict what's going to happen because what I'm saying, you know, we don't have a license, we don't have a register, we don't even know how many real estate agents we have in Mexico. We don't know how many transactions the other companies are doing. We don't have this information. This is going to change in the next years. I'm guessing 4 to 5 years. We already started to see, you know, the government uh, starting to create some bills and laws for our industry. Some states already have one. Quintana Roo has a license, but they're not enforcing it, so it makes a difference. You know, some other states are already doing a good job enforcing the license, like Baja California Sur, for example, where Cabo is. They're the most advanced right now in the country. So there's a great opportunity right today in Mexico to be ready for when this comes, you know, and the ones that are already prepared for when the license comes are the ones that are going to be more successful. So we want EXP to become this lighthouse of knowledge, hope, good practices, and professionalism in our industry. So we're the first ones ahead of the market when we start seeing this shift. Of course, we do have our goals and our numbers in terms of market share, but that's something that I can't share right now because we're in this process. You know, we're a publicly traded company, so we need to be very conscious about the
What we
information
share.
that we put out there. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I love hearing this. You know, all the success stories, all how we are going through all this crazy times, but we find a way to adapt and get successful with real estate, economy, finance. With all the entrepreneurs I deal with, that's the
Yes.
purpose: to be independent from the system. There are
Exactly.
three independence we seek: independence of time, of money, and space, or moving. You know,
Correct.
and that's why
And
I'm seeking to move a lot to Mexico in the sun.
we will be happy to receive you here in Mexico. You know, with
Say,
open arms. With open arms.
where are
We need
you
leaders.
most often?
Excuse me.
Where are you?
I'm still based in Mazatlan. I'm
Okay.
located here. You know, I do travel a lot. I try to be on top of you know, the entire country, or the main markets, to be on top of you know, what's going on everywhere. So to mingle with the agents as well, to get to know them. But I'm based in Mazatlan. Yeah, it's hard to move me from here. I love this place. They've been trying.
Yeah, they've been trying. Great. I will make sure that I visit next time I'm in Mexico.
Please,
And
anytime.
I have
I do some great aguachiles, so I'll
sorry.
make one for you. I do great aguachiles, so I'll make one for you.
Nice, nice. I have my business partner actually from Canada. He settled in Mazatlan, and we are planning to do a big project. We were thinking Mexico, but there are a lot of financing advantages to do it in Florida. But
Oh,
we're gonna get in touch about that because I'm sure you can help in a certain way. A lot of Mexicans want to buy in the States. You know, we can do that exchange. So I have this small game every interview I do. I call it the polarity test. Or what do you think about winning and losing?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat?
It's the polarity test. So what do you think about winning
Polarity.
and losing?
Well, losing, it's a way to gain a lot of knowledge. You know, losing is a great way to learn and to experience. That's how I see losing. There's always a great lesson in losing. And winning is the result of being focused, and is the result of I'm thinking of the word in English. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
Excuse me?
Take your time. What
Yes.
is Spanish? In Spanish, what is it? ¿Cómo se dice?
Se dice, the word left my mind. The habits.
Okay.
The good habits that you're able to implement in your life. So this business is about habits. This life and winning, it's about the right habits. So focusing on the right habits will take you to win.
Amazing. Great. Well put. It's well put. What I say is discipline is the mother of all powers. Because with discipline comes the focus. Discipline, because you always do the same routines. It creates the momentum, creates the synergy, it gives you all the focus. It's the mother of all energy. Discipline.
Well, look at this. In order to build a habit, you need discipline.
Exactly.
You say there's different studies. Some say it's 60 days, some say it's 66, some say it's 40 days. But if you want to build a habit, have the discipline to be able to implement it on your life for, let's say 60 days. And after those 60 days of discipline, it will become a habit. And you will no longer need that same energy to be able to do this productive activities.
Great. Yeah, I know. I have a nice graph I can send you later about that. So the second and last is, what's polarity test for this? Rich, poor.
Rich and poor.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot in there. What do I think about the word rich and poor, or the people who's rich and poor?
What's the meaning? Whatever your thoughts are about rich and poor.
Well, depending on how you look at it, I do not look at rich and poor with a wealth perspective. So I believe we need to. Each person can define what this means, and for me, to be rich or to be poor, it's depending on how good I'm feeling with myself and with my relationships and the state of mind that I am. So I try to be on a healthy environment, with a healthy focus, with good people around me, trying to always do my best, and that makes me feel pretty rich. The times where I'm down, for me, that's being poor.
It's like success. Everybody defines it like differently. My success is different from yours. Everybody's is different. So thank you very much, Ismael, for your time and sharing with us. I'm looking forward to do more business with you, and I'll see you soon.
It was my absolute pleasure, Adam, and just we would love to be able to do more business with you. I will put you in touch with my team here in Mexico, and let's keep growing together. This is what this company is all about: growth and opportunities, and having success, depending on what success is for you.
Exactly.
Happy to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You too.